Hello and welcome to another episode of Sanity Killer Projects. In this episode, we're going to be finally putting the Rockhard roll cage into the XJ. I've had this kit sitting in my garage for probably 2 years now. It really needs to go in, so I'm going to start the install on it today. Through this video, you see me do the whole install. But before we get started on that, as you may have noticed, I used to have a ponytail. I recently cut my hair. This happens fairly regularly. I grow my hair very long, and then I donate the hair to kids with cancer and kids with medical conditions that require wigs to be made for them. The organization that I give my hair to is called Children with Hair Loss. There are a few others. This is just the one that I like in particular. If you'd like their info, I can put it in the description or I can send it in a comment. So with that, let's get started on this video. Doesn't seem like an important factor, but to get to the floorboard of this, I'm gonna have to take my floor mats out. Floor mats don't seem like that big of a deal, but I have the knockoff version of the WeatherTech floor mats, the Quadratech's version of them. They still have to come out so that you can get to the actual floor panel where the holes need to be drilled for the cage. The front hoop is the main part that goes in. This is actually a really heavy portion of it because of the fact that it has this very, very thick steel plates. It makes it very difficult to get them in by yourself, which I just happen to do. So once you have it in, it is supposed to index with some holes in the floor, but the problem is you have to drill those first. So where they say to drill it, I'll show you right now. The spot they say to cut through is this drain right here, and put a hole right through the center of it. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a 1/4 inch hole through it to use it as an index point, and then I'm gonna drill it with a 1/2 inch all the way through from the top down. That way I don't get debris and stuff up into the hole. For now, what's gonna happen is I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna move it forward just enough to where I can access that stuff without anything getting in the way. And then once I've drilled all my holes, I'll set this into place and then I'll line up the upper bar into the position that it's supposed to go. This fits very tightly inside of this gap in here. It's supposed to go very close to the windshield on either side. It's not really a big deal. The cab on this thing is a little bit messed up because of the fact that it's been crunched before I got it. It's part of the reason why I got the Jeep so cheap. But because of that, not everything fits in here exactly perfectly. This thing looks like it's going in just fine though. For the start, this is essentially how it's gonna get going. You put the bar in and you drill that one hole so that you can use it as an alignment point. Then you lay the bar into and above the dash, and then you do the same thing on the other side with one hole in the front through that drain screw, and you're using that as a reference point and an alignment point so that you know that your bar is lined up where you need it to go. So at this point, we can move on to the next bar. This is the H bar that goes around the windshield and goes up along the top of the cab to give you a position for the rear U bar to go into the back. So I've been trying to do this video by myself, but this was near impossible. I could get it into the cab by myself, but I couldn't get it up into position, so I ended up having to have my wife come over and give me a hand getting into position. But this bar is an absolute bear. We could get the clamp started on one side. We could get the clamp started in the front on the left, right up there. Only on one side of it. I think the clamp is off or it's not tight enough to the bar. I'm not 100% sure at the moment. So for right now, it's just gonna be held together on one side of the clamp, which is fine. It all needs to be loose anyway because I have to be able to pick this up and attach it to the U-bar once I put the U-bar in. All right, so as you can see over there, the reference hole is drilled, the back hoop is in, and it's sitting on this one. They actually, in their video, tell you to clamp this together, so that gives you some stability, and then it says to build the arms off coming the other way next. And there's the reference hole for the other one. I haven't drilled any of the other holes yet. I don't plan to until I'm more towards final. So the next step that's gonna happen is you're gonna put the long bars across the back and let them kind of dangle. I did this on the other side too. They're tight enough that's not gonna cause any problems with the bolts and the hardware as they're going in. All right, so the point that I'm at now, I haven't referenced the holes in the bottom. They pretty much have to go in the position they're at. The bar is designed to lean back just a hair. And this goes all the way back up against the back plastic for where you're going to set this up. Then these just go as far forward as they can. The other one actually fits almost exactly into a pocket, which is where the old mount would have been for the tire saddle to sit on. And then this is your tie off for the old mount for the tire. So you're going to punch holes in this, and this is probably going to be a 9/16. The bolts themselves are bigger than a 1/2 inch, so you're gonna need a bigger hole. For this back hole, I did end up using a 9/16 to get through the back of it. Then for the down bars, I mocked them up and tightened them because of the fact that I needed them tight so that I could put the down bars in position, kind of having them holding themselves while I drilled the holes. I screwed these down with a 6mm Allen, and then these bolts down here I drilled out with a 3/8 drill. All the rest of them are this size for the other mount holes, so I'm going to drill those with the 3/8 also, and that'll kind of wrap up the placement of where everything's going to go. And as you can see, the roll cage is sitting in position entirely. As you can see, I've now knocked all the holes into the bottom of the cab for the rear hoop bar, and then I'm going to go up to the front and do the same thing. All right, so that is the passenger side right there set in, and that is the driver's side over there. Now I got to do a little cleanup and start disassembling all this so I can get it ready for paint and primer. I've got the entire roll cage mocked up. This took me about 2.5 hours to do, mostly by myself. You should do this with a second person. I asked my wife to come out and give me a hand with a couple of things as I needed to when I was going through stuff, especially with this H-bar. It's directly above my head. It was impossible to get it in and out without having somebody else hold it. I actually put a bunch of little chinks in my my ceiling carpet because of the fact that I was moving it around, and it would have been easier with a second person. This is the very unexciting part of this job. As you can see, I've started painting stuff. All the clamps are just done with a regular Rust-Oleum, and these, because they're going to be underneath the car and exposed to everything, I'm using a chassis paint that's really good for stuff that's going to be exposed to the weather. This stuff all looks weird, but this stuff is all painted. I've got just a regular Rust-Oleum paint on this. Why? Because it's going to be on the inside of the car and it's not going to be exposed to any weather or anything. This looks weird just sitting here like this, but when it comes down to it, I had to rotate it, and I spent most of the afternoon yesterday spray painting these. I've got another 4 pieces that look kind of similar that have to go out here and get set up to where I can paint them all. This is not exactly how I wanted this clip to go, but I'm done painting. It's the second day. I'm about 4 hours into the day today. We have some thunderstorms coming in. It's about 100 degrees, but as you can see, I've got all the hoop bars painted, and I'd already shown the brackets. Some of the stuff's already missing because I started mocking up the front bar to go into the car, but I had to pull everything in because it's getting really windy. We have some thunderstorms coming in, and it's just not worth being out there because it's going to start thunder and lightning soon. In the process of painting everything, once I got done with the front piece, I mounted this in. It's not in here tight. This is actually still movable. I didn't want to tighten everything down all the way because we got to be able to set and adjust everything and make everything line up. Bill just showed up, so he's going to help me set all the rest of these bars into place. This has become a total bear. In the process of trying to put this rolled cage in, this clamp is twisted and not in position. We kind of knew that going into it. It ended up becoming more than a hour-long problem trying to get this sorted out. We ended up having to clamp this one on and then pull everything up into place to get all the rest of this into fit. The problem with that is I didn't powder coat this cage. So by not powder coating this cage, literally everything that we've touched has scratched, and there are scratches on everything. I don't particularly care because it's meant to be an off-road toy, but it really kind of perturbs me when I spent more than 8 hours painting this thing to have it like this. So at the point we're at, we've got the front section in. We've got the rear section basically in. It took a little bit to get these moved around just enough, and this moved around just enough. Once we got all these in and lined up, it took a little bit to get those in and lined up. Looking at the underside, this is the rear and that is the front. It's gonna look like that on either side. One of the problems with that is, you see this little tab right here? That's for the drain cover, and that is the part that you drill through to put the hole for the big lineup hole. These are actually standing up a lot of times, and you have to flatten it down to get that to line up where you want it to be. So once you have all that done, as long as your cab's not bent, which my driver's side is, and I had to bang it around with a hammer to get all the bolts to line up, this is all still rough, so we haven't even tightened any of this stuff in. So this is the easiest back area to see where the plate is going to go on. That thing next to it is rubber. We're going to have to cut that off and then put the plate onto that with a nut. That thing, I'm not exactly sure what it holds down. Probably something in the bed. It's probably also a drain opening. Once we put the bolt on the other side of it, it'll all tighten up and it'll look fine, but that rubber piece has got to come off. From this point, with us close, the next point I'm going to show it is with it all in and done. We're actually going to put Loctite on all the hardware. all the stuff that's like this where we've only got 1 or 2 in, they're just roughed in place. We're gonna put Loctite on all of these and then take these back out and put Loctite on. Blue Loctite, we don't want anything super strong on there. We just want something to make sure that it's not gonna back out while we're off-roading. Back is in, bolted up all of the way, tight. That's how it's gonna look, minus the floor mat in the back. The metal that has the angle on it right here is where your gas filler is. The plate and the big bolt go right next to it, and it looks the same on the other side except for there's no gas filler mount piece right there. Then the next goes into the wheel well straight across from the tire. At this point the job is essentially done. Let's take a look at what was done and how it was done. Took the floor mats and I made some notches in the ends of it. The bars are all locked down, top, bottom, all sides. Plates installed on the bottoms. Some important details that are needed here. You see how the paint has come off and been scarred. Now they put a rag down here and that was nice, and I tried to do that too, but when it comes down to it, if you used paint on this, the way this thing goes in and how sharp the metal is and how the thing is set up, it's gonna scuff everything. So there are lots of like little scuff and drag marks on everything. In my case, I don't particularly care. And the reason why is because this is a roll cage in a beat up truck, and I'm happy that it has a roll cage, and now I'm more inclined to do dumb off-road stuff with it, which is the reason why I put it in. Here's the back seat and how I notched the floor mats for that in, and same thing, the bar is all scuffed. It's all right though. I don't have a problem with how it's functioning and how it's set. It all looks good and seems to be in good working order as it's set up, and I am okay with it exactly as it is. All right, if you made it this far into the video, thank you very much for watching all the way to the end. I appreciate it. Let me give you some details into this work. The initial startup and first placement before we painted it only took us about 2.5 hours to do, which wasn't that big of a deal. I have about 8 to 10 hours into painting it. I took most of the first day and all of the second day painting it. Then on the third day, Bill and I started installing it. Okay, the install process probably should have taken about another 2.5 hours to install, especially with help from Bill. The reason why it didn't is because this H bar is what I keep calling it, the one that goes across the top and attaches to the front hoop, was not quite aligned properly. Whenever you do custom work of any sort, you are going to have to make changes and adjustments to things in a manner in which that allows your parts to fit in properly, even though the parts are custom made and they're generally, in this case, quality made. You have to be able to make adjustments to them to make them fit. It's like doing a custom build on a car. Everything that you put on it is going to have to be massaged, adjusted, fit to match what you want it to do. In this case, the coupling on this corner in particular was slightly out of whack, and because of that, it would allow all 3 of the other points of connection to attach without that one, or to get that one in, we had to connect that one first and then tweak everything else up into place so that it would kind of move that and adjust to allow the rest of it to move. It's a long explanation for custom parts are not always perfect. So remember that if you're going to put custom parts in a car, you're going to end up spending a lot of extra time just making things a little better so that they match and work properly. Now, as I've mentioned multiple times, I painted this. I have no problem with this being painted. I don't even care if this rusts a little bit. This is a roll bar in a car that I don't drive. You guys haven't even seen this poor girl in a while, and I've had it sitting here the whole time. So with that being said, there will be more projects on this. This car is not being gotten rid of anytime soon. I'm gonna keep it. It's always gonna be a toy that I'm gonna be playing with. So as always, thank you for watching. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe. All of that really helps out the channel. We'll keep making more videos.